You know, doing these cold opens the past couple weeks has been so fascinating to me because the second we start recording, my brain turns off. And I'm like, I don't even know what to talk about.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like, bro, what's been happening?
Nothing.
Fucking nothing.
Bro,
And
nothing.
also nothing into everything.
I went to Target yesterday just to feel something.
I stood in the soap aisle of the CVS for like 3 minutes, and that was like my week.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. At some point today, my brother's gonna bother me and be like, we need to go to the store. Because he wants soda and chips.
God, he's so
Didn't
fucking
you guys
teen
literally
boy.
go out yesterday to Taco Bell or whatever?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying
All
to.
I remember is that you guys were talking about tacos or something.
God, I just want Taco Bell now. I don't think I can eat like anything on the menu, but I just want it now.
Still such a mysterious beast to me.
Taco Bell is very fascinating. Also, yeah, Alex, I'm really trying to think about what you could consume. And unfortunately, there's cheese on everything.
There's cheese on literally everything they produce because it's a like knockoff taco place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the funny thing about Taco Bell is when people try to snidely be like, you know, it's not real Mexican. I'm like, yeah, bud, I know fucking Crunchwrap Supreme is not a real Mexican delight. But you know what? It's fucking tasty. I enjoy a good tostada. Right, bitch?
Doesn't have to be real to be good.
It does
That's
not.
true.
It doesn't have to be real to be good. At this point, they are so far from anything even resembling Mexican food. I think they've even ditched the Live Moss slogan. There's like no... The most that they say that's Mexican is the fucking Mexican pizza.
Wait, Taco Bell is pizza?
Okay, so the Mexican pizza... let's talk about it. It's a real bastard of a thing. This is the Taco Bell pizza. It's hell.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
It's not like a real pizza. It's also terrible. Hey, I have just
Feel free to describe this thing. Describe this thing for people listening.
It's a tortilla with beef, potentially also refried beans on it, then with another tortilla on top with like salsa, cheese. I'm looking at a different picture, but they're all sort of the same.
Yeah, it looks like someone misunderstood what nachos are.
It's sort of like a fucked up quesadilla.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am seeing a Daily Mail article where man storms Taco Bell to make his own Mexican pizza. Bro, they make it for you.
Just ask nicely and pay money.
Yeah. But no, Taco Bell is great and also the worst food I've ever eaten in my adult life. But I love it. I love it. I love that it gives me heartburn, and I love how terrible it is.
I'm so fascinated by all the stories of people like going to Taco Bell and then shitting their pants because we don't have Taco Bell.
So the thing is I think it for a long time they had a lot of like cheap like little individual things, so it was really easy to buy like 7 loaded nacho grillers, and guess what, like if you eat that much spicy beef and cheese, yeah, you're gonna have some tum-tum problems.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if you get a beefy 5-layer and you eat it and that's it, you're fine. It also depends on how volatile your stomach is. I eat like shit, so I have like an iron stomach. Except for sometimes when I eat pasta sauce now, I get heartburn because I hit 20 and then hit a brick wall, tumbled over it into 80. It was really like, I was youthful, I could eat anything. I hit 20 and now it's like, your whole body hurts all the time.
Yeah.
What's that fucking John Mulaney quote? I am damp all the time. That's how I feel.
That's just a you thing.
Well, okay, that's the high testosterone. But yeah, I really did a ass over tea kettle, just dived right into an 80-year-old's body.
Yeah, worm.
I don't know if it's the depression or it's the staggering realities of getting older.
Yes.
But it really felt so sudden.
Yeah, it's
The
all.
answer is all, yeah.
It's all of it.
It's all of the it.
Yeah, I think it's the all of it. But no, I can still tolerate a little bit of Taco Bell.
Yeah. Hey, cool cold open this week.
Yeah, cool thing. We talk about Taco Bell for 7 minutes.
You know what? What the fuck else is there to talk about, you guys?
Yeah.
Again...
Anything else is just overly depressing.
I mean, okay, well, so I went to Target for a reason, which was to look for a version of Trivial Pursuit that did not literally come out before I was born. Because we were playing Trivial Pursuit, and all the fucking time we would literally have to, like, add caveats, like, as of 1997.
God.
There was one that was like, oh, which independent Chinese state or whatever, as of 1997. What's the country that gave the most domestic aid or the most international aid, as of 1997?
God.
So I didn't have to, but I ordered the most recent Trivial Pursuit, which has, like, there was literally a question that's like, what cable is this? And so I'm like, oh, thank
God.
fuck. A question I can fucking answer.
God.
But, as always, the sports questions will be impossible and inaccessible to me. I hate Trivial Pursuit because I can never answer the fucking sports questions right.
They gotta make one about wrestling, and then you'll be fine.
I could probably answer... So, the fucking...
Cerise would stomp you at that.
The thing about sports is it's technically sports and leisure. First of all, I don't know what counts as, like, leisure in that case.
Like
Chess.
Golf?
Right,
Chess?
I mean, like, other competitive things. But I'm like, you have to ask me... There was a question that I got last night that was like, oh, who won the Cy Young trophy, who now plays for this prison team? And I was like, I felt so defeated. I was like, I don't even know what sport that is, Dad. Apparently it's baseball for pitching. But I literally had never felt so defeated in my life. Like, hearing that question, being like, I don't even know what sport this is. So, you know, maybe this most recent version will have questions about esports.
God,
if it does, you have to tell us.
Those? I don't think you can answer those. You don't know anything about esports.
I could make a better guess about esports than I could about real sports.
Asparagus.
If it asks about the OWL, I can probably answer it just from osmosis. And who knows, maybe it'll be like, what's Ninja's real name? And I can at least guess, because I think I know it. It's Blevins. I think that's his last name. His first name's like Matt or Scott or something. I remember his weird last name. But you know what? I could say the last name and get it.
Okay.
So glad you know Ninja's real name. Because you live with a 15-year-old boy.
Who thinks Ninja's incredibly lame.
Oh.
Of course he does.
Yeah, he's played out. He thinks his reg is cool as hell.
Okay.
But Ninja's lame because he plays Fortnite.
That's where we are in the cycle now.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, though, that Kyle did buy a Fortnite skin.
Oh,
like, recently.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
I really want to thank Kyle for, like, keeping me up to date with what the teens are into nowadays, because I'm going back reading sci-fi novels written in 2011, and that's just what my life is now. But now I've got Kyle.
I feel so out of touch because
Thursday.
I used to know what was cool, and now I don't know what's cool.
I have never known what's cool. I was an art kid.
I've also never known what's cool.
When Jan Sports were in, that's all I knew. That's the best I got for you.
God.
Because that was also an art thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Christ. Hello, and welcome to Wikiboys, the podcast where three friends... I fucking forgot what our intro is. Jesus Christ.
How many of these have we done? Like 20?
I hosted last week! Last week! Oh, shit.
Use that one, it's funny.
Do you want me to do the open for you?
No, I just need to find the fucking script. Oh, okay. Jesus Christ.
Leave that in.
I will do so.
I love when we fuck up.
Hello, and welcome to Wikiboys, the podcast where three friends dive into the wonderful world of fandom wiki pages. I'm your host, Aster, and I use she and they pronouns.
I'm Alex. I use he, him pronouns.
And I'm Rock, and I use they, them pronouns.
And today we are exploring, let me get the official wiki name up, xmenmovies.fandom.com.
Oh boy.
So, just a little bit of a preface. I've long discussed man, I wish we could do one about comics, because I kind of know about comics, but I don't.
You're the superhero one of the group.
Yeah, I'm the superhero one of the group, but only vaguely. I've mostly seen. Actually, I was looking at both this and the Marvel one, and I had a moment where I realized, oh, I've seen all of these movies. Because I have a disease. Thank God there is an xmenmovies.fandom.com, so I can talk about what I know, which is how none of the X-Men movies are good except for 3 of them.
And except for the ones that are good.
And none of them are good except for the ones that are good.
That's what media opinions can be boiled down into.
It's good. It's bad except when it's good.
Yeah.
I will link this for you guys, but
do we not want to?
No.
Yeah.
I'm linking it in preface of talking about
Yeah.
our experience. So obviously, as I mentioned, I have seen all of the X-Men movies.
Oh, this font, huh?
This is a bad looking wiki.
It's a bad looking wiki. I will put a caveat on the most recent release, Dark Phoenix. I watched half of it because Dad watched it. And I was on my phone because I didn't really want to watch it, but I thought, okay, well, it's going to be bad, so I might as well see what's happening here.
Wait, Deadpool is part of the X-Men?
Yes, it was made by Fox.
Oh, I see. I literally didn't know they had more movies past the Logan movie. That's the last one I heard about.
And that's probably for the best.
That's probably for the best. Deadpool 2 wasn't, bad, but it was not as great as the first one. It was, fun. If you enjoyed the first one, you would probably enjoy the second one. Anyways.
I haven't seen it.
Mileage from my good friends.
I've seen... We'll say a hot 75%.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, and I've read several of the Nightcrawler one-offs that are all different continuities and make absolutely no sense when put together.
It's just about our fuzzy blue boy, and that's all that matters.
Just like the fuzzy blue boy. But also, my father is desperately into X-Men. That's his thing.
Oh,
fascinating.
So I've absorbed a little bit of that. I'm sorry, I'm very distracted by the New Mutants timer ticking down on this wiki because it literally goes by second.
It is actively ticking down to the release of this new movie.
It's very distracting.
My mileage with X-Men is I've seen X-Men 2000 and I'm friends with Aster.
I actually do. Was it when you had your wisdom teeth out? You said, you asked me we have this.
No.
No,
I think that's when I was having a medical anxiety attack and I was just sitting in the living room watching DVDs to distract myself from my anxiety.
And
I was I had blasted through all the animated movies and I was okay, well now I have to watch the live action ones, and I was well, I'm familiar enough with X-Men that it probably won't upset me. Hey Aster, is this movie good?
The answer's no.
Okay. So X-Men 2000 is not a great movie, but it is very special to me. I think that, especially seeing as it is one of the earlier superhero movies, I think it does an admirable job. It doesn't, things that came out kind of after the big, Marvel resurgence had, now there's a formula. Now you know what to do.
Yeah.
X-Men 2000, it was just fucking out here, bro. It was just doing it.
I did enjoy watching it as a movie. I could not say to its fucking zone in the X-Men canon, because I don't fucking know that shit, but it was enjoyable as a movie.
It's fun. It's a fun movie. Since you've mentioned continuity and X-Men zone, I'd like to link you to the first article that I have pulled up, which is Timeline.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh, this is a bad fucking image.
It's fucking awful. So
this does not bode confidence.
we start with X-Men First Class, which is unequivocally the first thing that happens in the canon of the X-Men movies. I also was like, I was sort of joking before we started. I was like, I realized I did not really have to look at this movie or this wiki, because I could literally go just by the fucking posters and tell you a little bit about each one. Possibly not a whole lot about the original trilogy, just because it's been a hot minute since I've seen them.
Do it now. Do it.
Okay, all right. Let me see if I can give you like the quickest rundown possible of all these movies, because it will make this timeline make more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so X-Men 2000. Actually, I think we've all seen it at this point. So, it is sort of the origin. We meet Wolverine for the first time. It's you know, it's your sort of standard first adventure. Everybody's meeting each other. They go fight an enemy. Blah blah blah. The only one I don't remember is X-Men United, and I will have to remind myself what the hell. Oh, this is the one that introduces Nightcrawler. He's here and I love him.
Not this one though.
Yeah, well, so this is where my Nightcrawler agenda is going to jump out. I love Alan Cumming. I think he's a fantastic actor, and it's not his fault.
He did a good job.
It's not his fault. Oh boy, Rook. We'll get there, Rook. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I think Alan Cumming does a great job. I hate, just like in general, what they did with Nightcrawler. He's not fuzzy, and he has weird runes on his face. How'd you fuck up that?
A lot of weird decisions.
Yeah. I said he looked like a Dragon Age elf.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. I'm reading the this plot synopsis of X-Men 2 or X2 X-Men United. I don't remember any of this. I think maybe Cyclops, you get some lore about him.
Getting sad boy lore.
Oh, it might be also with the Mutant Registration Act, which is a big plot point in the comics. I think that's genuinely the most important part, is like it's vaguely political, which is boring. X-Men Last Stand. So X-Men Last Stand tried to combine like 4 different, I genuinely think, if I remember it, tried to connect like 3 or 4 different plot lines from the comics, when it really should have done 1. This is where we get introduced to the Dark Phoenix or Phoenix vibe. So Jean Grey is an incredibly powerful telepath. Is that what the hell she is? Whatever. She's a really powerful brain girl. Depending on what lore you're looking at, in any capacity, she like digivolves into a fucked up evil version somehow. Okay. And that's Phoenix. At the same time, they're introducing Angel, whole other fucking ball game.
Oh boy.
And they're like, oh, by the way, there's a cure for being a mutant now.
Oh, okay.
And that's a whole arc in the comics, and like the morality of that. And my favorite scene, which is where Rogue, the girl who sucks the life out of people when she touches them, is like, oh boy, there's a cure for this horrible thing that has been burdened upon me. And Storm...
Is she the one that was in the one I watched?
Yes, I believe that's where she gets introduced. So she's like, man, there's a way to lift this horrible curse that means I can't ever have meaningful human contact with another person as long as I fucking live. And then Storm, excuse me, the woman who is literally worshipped as a goddess because of her storm powers, went, no, it's not that bad. You don't have to cure anything because we're not diseased or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's handled with about that amount of subtlety.
All right.
So, X-Men Last Stand really could have been an okay movie if they didn't take 2 or 3 really like meaty arcs and thought, we can do all of these at the same time. You could literally just do one about like the cure, because there's other shit that happens with that. It's very like, you get a whole morality thing, like, is it okay to make this? Is it a thing that you should want? Is it good? Is it bad? Like, everybody's gonna have different opinions on it because some people's powers are like way worse than other people's.
Yeah.
There is a whole sort of meta narrative about, I'm gonna put quotes around this, passing as a human. You know, some people are fucking blue.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people are blue, and I do know
a remarkable number of blue people.
I do know the reason for that was because they were already printing with blue ink for the suits.
Oh, I see.
So they didn't have to pick. So you'll get some people later who are different colors, but they were introduced later when printing was.
That's the reason why. That's my favorite thing about art.
That's why there are 2 blue people. We have, or 3 blue people, actually.
3, yeah.
Yeah, we have Mystique, who is blue. We have Beast, who is blue. And Nightcrawler, who is blue.
Isn't Apocalypse
all
also
the
blue?
exact same shade of blue.
They're the exact same shade of blue.
Isn't Apocalypse also blue?
I think he might be different colors depending on how he's depicted.
Right.
He was, I believe, introduced later, so he got the sort of...
I see.
Yeah, I think in the movie, he's definitely blue.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the posters here.
Yes. And so X-Men Last Stand and its 3 or 4 plot lines wraps up the first trilogy. Then we get to X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is, I would say, unequivocally the worst movie in this lineup here.
Really?
It's not good.
It is fucking like, people shit on X-Men Last Stand. Actually, I will come to its defense. So there's actually, I think one of the other fucking plot lines is the Dark Brotherhood, which is this cool ass evil mutant group that Magneto starts up.
Oh.
And there's a really cool scene. Let me also briefly talk about Magneto. So Magneto is a Holocaust survivor.
Oh, God.
And I actually promise this scene is actually really good. So
it's actually good pretty well.
It is, it's all these, it's a bunch of punks and whatever, and they're just like, fuck the system, whatever. So they're in this, obviously, grungy warehouse, because where else do evil people hang out? And they're all getting tats, and they're like, Magneto, come get a tat or whatever. And he pulls up his arm and shows up the number. He's like, never again. And it's fucking sick as hell, and it's the only thing that makes this movie better than X-Men Origins Wolverine. So X-Men Origins Wolverine, first film in the Wolverine trilogy.
Yeah, Wolverine is the only one that I have any sort of, like, not emotional attachment, but just, like, I guess, social attachment to, just because he's Canadian and short and also buff, so I'm like, oh, I like him.
He's short, buff, Canadian, and in some continuities, canonically bisexual.
Oh, epic for him.
He loves to kiss a boy.
Like Knife Dad has a gay daughter.
We'll get to Knife Dad's gay daughter. Okay.
That's, like, all I know, so he's the only one I really have any amount of attachment to. Same how Spider-Man is the only one is the only superhero I care about, but I've actually, like, consumed more Spider-Man than nothing.
Yeah,
like, with Wolverine, I had no idea that his skeleton wasn't his power.
No.
Until I watched that movie, and I was like, what? I just thought that the two were connected. I didn't know that his power was just healing.
So...
Yeah.
X-Men Origins Wolverine goes into it a little bit more. Before he gets the metal skeleton and everything and the metal claws, he does have these horrific bone claws, and they're very
terrifying.
bad, and they suck. His most important thing is his healing factor. It's, like, I think probably one of the best in the entire Marvel universe. Like, this motherfucker...
like healing powers or powers?
Yeah. Healing powers.
Okay. He's epic.
He's incredibly epic. X-Men Origins
You cannot
Wolverine,
kill this man.
Genuinely. It tells you, like, first of all, I believe, here we go. In 1845, in Northwestern Territory, British North America, young James Howlett sees his father, John Howlett, killed by his friend Victor Creed's father, whatever.
Okay.
So, he's like, in the years that follow, adult brothers James and Victor are seen fighting together in the American Civil War, World War I, World War II, and eventually the Vietnam War.
Aster, I need you to understand I don't know who these people are.
Wolverine and his brother.
Which one is Wolverine?
I
don't know what his human name is. Do you not know either?
James.
Okay.
James.
I had to... Well, because I'm like, oh, it's Logan. And I'm like, which fucking one is that?
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. His name's not Logan?
It's...
Yes? So he goes by a handful of names. James Howlett is one of them. Logan is the one that he's, like...
Okay.
I believe...
Currently using?
James Howlett is, I think, like, his birth name.
It's his dead name.
It's his dead name. Wolverine is trans, and I stand by that.
Yeah, yes. No, absolutely.
He's short, he's gay, and he's buff. And very angry. I'm not saying the trans dudes are angry, but he's very fighty.
No, short dudes are angry.
Short dudes are angry.
I'm a short. And I'm angry.
But yeah, like, it's also like, oh yeah, by the way, Wolverine was in the fucking Civil War.
Yeah.
And because of his healing factor, he's functionally immortal. He doesn't age.
I see. Hammond.
Fuck you. Fuck off. Don't talk about it. Stop. It's not about JoJo. It's not a fucking JoJo reference. It goes on, and then basically this army dude is like, I see that you have fascinating powers. Can we bond a rare metal from Africa to your skeleton? And for whatever reason, he says yes, and it's incredibly traumatizing, and it gives him damage for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's all you need to know.
That's really all you need to know.
There's one shot where he, like, emerges from the tank that he had his bones pumped full of adamantium with. And that's all I really remember, because he's ripped and shirtless.
So you look at ripped, shirtless Hugh Jackman, and it's like, this movie isn't all bad.
Yeah, honestly, honest to God, it's not all bad because it has ripped, shirtless Hugh Jackman.
Take what you can get, I guess.
And that's the only good thing about the movie.
Honestly. So then we get into X-Men First Class, which you will notice is the first in our timeline here.
It looks like an Avengers poster.
So even though it came out a year before the Avengers, it was finally, like, starting to be influenced by Marvel movies that were being made. It came out in 2011, like, it has that.
Sorry. Yeah.
So, X-Men First Class goes back in time to 1962 and tells the story of how Charles Xavier and Eric Lensher were friends and then enemies.
Is Charles Xavier the one that's in the wheelchair?
Yes. So this also tells the story of how that happened, which is Magneto deflected a bullet into his spine during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one also...
God, I shouldn't laugh at that.
No, I'm sure if I went back and watched First Class, it would be really...
You said those string of words just so suddenly that I was like, wait, what?
I wanted to impress upon you how insane it is. There is literally a scene where Magneto is stopping missiles in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like,
wow.
It is also implied... I believe in Days of Future Past. I will get to this. We'll talk about Days of Future Past in a couple ones. It's implied that Magneto was responsible for the death of JF Kennedy.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that a little bit more because
I know that superheroes a lot of them are inherently political, like how Captain America fucking punches Nazis.
Correct.
But, oh God, I wish we could, like, just stop putting superheroes in real world events.
It feels very strange to me
it feels weird when
it's that mutants had any bearing on the Cuban Missile Crisis. It just
God, we're terrible today.
You are particularly bad today.
I don't mind it as much, but when it's in a movie, I'm like, wait, what?
It's very strange. X-Men First Class also had the boon of having Charles Xavier and Eric Lensher be hot boys. So it can be gay now and it's not old men.
God.
Because it's gross and stinky.
God.
So let me just tell you, and yes, I was a part of this, there was a lot of gay shit happening in the X-Men fandom at this time.
I see.
Oh, yeah.
It combined my two favorite things, which is hot boys and historical AUs, because it was, set in the 60s.
Yeah.
So... I have worms in my brain, and they're flavored that. That's sort of the gist of it. There are some characters that I do want to talk about from that, but I just trying to give it as quick and dirty of a rundown as I can, and being very slow about it.
Giving the quick and dirty rundown that's been like half an hour.
The Wolverine. Yeah. The Wolverine. Logan becomes a weeb.
Yep.
He literally he just goes to Japan and does things in Japan and that's it. Like,
that's what. Oh, I see. That's why the poster looks like that.
Correct.
That's stupid.
It's not a good movie.
Days of Future Past. So this is where we start to get the time bending elements, the timeline splitting elements. This is where our sort of over heaven reset happens.
God.
I hate how good a metaphor that is.
It's pretty much what happens. So, Days of Future Past is technically also takes place in the future.
I think it was 2023 or something.
2023, okay. So, 2023, it fucking sucks here. There are robots called Sentinels, and they are fucking everywhere. They have mutant sniffing powers, and they want to either round up or kill all the mutants.
Cool.
So, they're like, hey, Kitty Pryde, who previously has never been mentioned to have powers like this, can you blast Logan's mind back into the past and change shit? Yes, it's the 70s now.
Okay.
James McAvoy, Charles Xavier, is wearing a really ugly wig. And there's some drama that happens there. This is also where I believe Eric Magneto is in prison under suspicion of killing JFK. And then he says one of the most bonkers lines in the entire movie. I was trying to save him. He was one of us.
What?
Yes!
Mm-hmm. JFK was a mutant.
Within the continuity of X-Men, JFK was a mutant.
So, why the plot synopsis does not mention any more of this. Okay. It's just like they then plan to break Eric out of prison for killing President John F. Kennedy. No elaboration on that as to what they thought his mutant power was, but I'd love to hear the writers' headcanons on what they thought JFK's mutant power was.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite piece of lore is, if I remember correctly, Captain America the Winter Soldier came out very close to this release. So people had fun crossover fic where Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, was the one trying to kill JFK.
I remember that!
So not only do we have two fucking super Marvel characters at the JFK assassination.
What the fuck?
Okay, I somehow I didn't think that they would put a picture of JFK on this, and I don't know why.
Good lord.
But seeing him, I can't handle it.
I do just want to read the info box for the page John F. Kennedy on xmenmovies.fandom.com/wiki/John F. Kennedy. Species, mutant. Gender, male. Date of birth, date of death, status, deceased. You know, yeah. Just the real fucking date of birth and date of death. Not cited or anything. Just we're gonna accept that one.
We talked about what JFK's power was for quite a bit, and my answer for you may be a bit obvious and not that smart, but it's a telepathy, a mind control, the ability to persuade people to do things.
Cool thing to give a president.
Yeah.
Ooh, not cool.
The notion was that Trask, who is this dude who makes the Sentinels, he doesn't like mutants, whatever. He has an anti-mutant agenda. The notion was that Trask was a little bit involved in the assassination of JFK. I'm just telling you backstory. It's not in the movie, but Trask identified that JFK was a mutant. Then the people that wanted JFK killed for all the political reasons. Whoever it actually was who actually killed him, they were motivated by the fact that this guy was a mutant. So Eric got wind of that and tried to stop them, but there were too many of them. So apparently also, there's now lore that there is enough attackers that it couldn't have been stopped. Okay, Alex, this screenshot is literally making my brain melt.
Do you want to talk about it?
So it's relationships. Magneto, for JFK. Magneto, attempted savior. Family, Robert F. Kennedy, deceased, brother. Why is he mentioned?
He's got a page.
Telepathy. Like his brother, Robert Kennedy also possessed the ability of mental telepathy and thus was able to read people's minds. What the fuck? The design prototype for Robert's psychic earplugs? What the fuck?
What the fuck? What movie was this?
You can't do that.
I think this is just like lore that got released later. Here we go.
So I went on Archive of Our Own and found 3 fics in X-Men that have the tag John F. Kennedy. One which is in Russian?
There was a there may have been a Tumblr blog. Anyways, I want to just read this excerpt from a Robert F. Kennedy biography.
We are reading off this wiki. None of this is conspiracy theory shit. This is all just reading off a wiki. I swear to God.
Talking about X-Men.
I swear to God, it's just about X, and we don't really think that the Kennedys were psychic.
We're talking about the Kennedys' X-Men sonas.
I can feel other people's emotions, he says. I can see their memories, all of them. Every man, woman, and child in that audience tonight, white, black, rich, poor. I can see the time a gun pointed in the face of the young man in the front row. I can feel the exhaustion that a waitress feels when she has to pay her daughter's medical bills. He pauses, looks me dead in the eye. I can even sense how you felt when they assigned you to write this profile, he says with a smirk. It's overwhelming, but it also proves that I am doing important work. The memories never stop flooding in. They get stronger and stronger. Some people look at it as a curse. For me, it is my gift. Anyways, he also had psychic earplugs. Let's take a look at these. There's a lot of fucking lore about fucking Bobby Kennedy, and I don't know how to feel about it!
What the fuck?
The design for these earplugs was derived from the properties of the material that was used to make Eric Lensher's helmet, known to possess the capability to inhibit Charles Xavier's psychic obtrusions into his mind. You can't catch me, gay thoughts!
What the fuck? Warning, this device is made of Russian metal and therefore should not be used for over 4 hours due to high toxicity. Signs of metal poisoning include nausea, headaches, and insomnia. What the fuck?
Yeah, Magneto's cool helmet is made of, like, fucked up metal that stops the gay thoughts from getting him.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
Wait, are these earplugs for Magneto?
No, these are for Bobby Kennedy.
Okay. What's with the fucking operation instructions?
I don't know. There's, like, lore, and I don't know where it fucking comes from.
Step 1 has been obliterated. I'm assuming it's put the earplugs in. Step 2, reach overhead with opposite hand. Step 3, pull up and back on ear. Step 4, insert ear shield into ear. Okay, never mind, he hasn't inserted them yet. Step 5, close eyes. Step 6, begin relaxing, starting from your toes and moving up slowly until you reach the top of your head. Step 7, start humming the Battle Hymn of the Republic on repeat or until the voices dissipate.
Specifically Battle Hymn of the Republic, huh?
That's just a guided meditation.
Yeah. So that's Days of Future Past. So basically, when Days of Future Past ends, we see the present, like, we see the fixed future that Logan fixes, and they're back at Xavier's academy. Everything's good. We see a couple characters that we know, and it's then implied that, yeah, so everything kind of before this, like X-Men United, X-Men Last Stand, the Wolverine
has been obliterated,
is now no longer canon. X-Men First Class is still the beginning canon. X-Men Origins Wolverine is also, I think, technically non-canon, but I think, like, the things that happened in it roughly are still what happened to him. Like, he still had his bones fused with metal. He still, you know, Does
he remember that he did? Is he the only one that remembers the original timeline?
Yes.
Damn.
Sucks, bro.
Yeah. Then we get to Deadpool, which was sort of an anomaly in this. It is, strictly speaking, an X-Men movie. Like, there's mutants in it. Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
I had no idea Deadpool was part of X-Men.
Deadpool himself. So he's not... He's a mutant.
I mean, I more mean that, like, he has interacted with the canon.
Yes.
I know that Deadpool is Deadpool. He can't be chained. He's a comedy character.
Right. So this one, basically, like, we just learn all about him. If I recall, he gets cancer and then gets injected with, like, a super crazy, powerful healing factor, I believe akin to Wolverine's.
Oh.
Isn't it, like, derived from Wolverine?
I think it is. So he gets some fucked up experiment, and then his face looks bad.
I thought his face looked bad because it got burnt by acid.
Nope.
No. I think it's that these mutant experiments ravaged his face.
Only his face.
Not his dick.
I thought his dick
is that
was also
canon?
They actually, I swear they do actually say that it fucked up his dick.
They talk about the Beppis.
Because it's a comedy movie.
Yeah.
An R-rated comedy movie. Let me see if I can find his fucked up face. It's gotta be in here somewhere. Oh, it was also released on February 12th, so there was a couple ads where it was here, let me find this one, where it was sort of portrayed like it was a rom-com. So let me copy this image.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was being marketed as a Valentine's Day movie.
Wasn't it literally up against 50 Shades of Grey?
I think it was literally up against 50 Shades of Grey.
I remember that, and I remember people being like, watch Deadpool instead.
Where is his fucked up face? Ah, here we go. Here's his nasty face.
I've seen his face before. I just assumed it was,
yeah, no.
a chemical burn. Or maybe someone was like, I think it's a chemical burn, and I was like, I guess that's canon. I don't know.
Here's his nasty face. I do believe they talk about the Beppis.
That doesn't look nearly as bad. Oh god, it's like, it hurts to look at in the comics. I hate looking at it in the comics.
He looks real bad in the comics.
It activates
very bad.
It activates my trypophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he talked about his Beppis, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. I haven't seen Deadpool in a hot minute, but just know that there's Beppis talk. It's sort of a standalone thing, just because he's sort of bebopping on his own, and there's a couple X-Men in it, but yeah, he is also Canadian.
I forgot about that.
Which also makes Ryan Reynolds perfect.
Yeah.
And then we get X-Men Apocalypse.
Boy, do we.
This movie is not good, but is it not enough to see Oscar Isaac on a screen, big and blue? It's not, actually.
It's not.
So the problem is there's too many fucking characters in this. So X-Men Apocalypse is like kind of a cool story. It's like this super, super old mutant who, an ancient Egyptian mutant who awakens from millennia of slumber to take over the world and wrest control of the planet from humans. Fuck, I just realized it's Dio. I guess it's closer to the Pillar Men, but sort of if you fused the two.
God.
It's all JoJo.
It's
JoJo all the way down.
All the way down. So, Apocalypse is like, I'm awake, and I need my 4 horsemen. Which I'm like, delicious. I love a symbolism. So, I think he snatches a couple people who we've met before. I think it's... No, I have to look. Give me a second here. I know Storm is one of them.
Because...
Angel is one of them. And Psylocke is one of them. But I don't remember who the 4th one is.
Oh boy, these synopses really just... I can't read these, actually.
They're not good.
Sorry, I'm not really paying attention, because right now I'm reading a BuzzFeed news article about the making of Deadpool's penis. We always approached it like, I guess this is from whatever movie, I don't know. We always approached it like, this man is growing these appendages back, and, you know, everything else has to grow back too, said the director. None of us are really daunted by potentially showing it in the sense that it's Wade's material down there.
Oh my god. Hey, I guess I forgot that the 4th horseman was Magneto.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So the beef with this is, I believe this is the first movie that has Storm in any real capacity. It's you get a lot more Storm and a lot more Nightcrawler, which is great. Me, a gay who loves both of them.
Yeah.
Then they decide, okay, we'll put Psylocke in. She's a complicated legacy, but she's mostly cool because she has like a purple knife that generates from her spirit or what the hell ever. She's very complicated, and I could talk about the issues with Psylocke for a while. But she has a cool purple knife. And that's all I know about her, and but she's like barely in the movie. And then there's Angel / Archangel. So what happens to Angel is he has meat wings for a little bit.
Oh.
And then he gets them replaced with fucked up metal wings.
I see them. Also, I didn't glean anything for how they made Deadpool's dick look, but they canonically made him a grower and not a shower. So,
let me see if I can get.
Good for him. We can talk about Angel.
So this is Archangel. He gets a fucked up like.
No, show me the meat wings.
Oh, the meat wings. Oh shit. Oh, that's right. He's a cage fighter. So
it's just so dumb.
I mean, these metal wings look cool, non-functional. Yeah. Oh, that's what you meant by meat wings, and that he has
like wings that are
I thought you were going to show me these terrible malformed appendages.
No. This is also I super forgot that he had these weird face tattoos that do literally make him look like a Dragon Age elf. So clearly,
why did they replace his wings?
So that he would be more powerful or something.
Okay, metal is heavy.
Yeah, meanwhile, Apocalypse arrives in Berlin to recruit Angel by replacing his organic wings with metallic ones, renaming him Archangel, and recruiting him as another horseman, the Horseman of Death. I don't think there's any logic. He's just like, take these now.
Not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They would have had to
sure is.
remove his normal wings.
I don't know! It's really dumb, Rook!
It's fucking...
So, this movie just had too many fucking characters in it. Like, there's a character who I vaguely remember from the comics. She's on and off important. Moira McTaggart. She is a CIA agent and an ally of the X-Men. She pops up every now and again in the comics. What?
Sorry, I just linked a piece of trivia from Angel's page. Which reads, Archangel and Nightcrawler's rivalry is based on the fact that they are rival mutant subspecies. In the comics, Archangel is believed to be a descendant of the Cherafim, angelic mutants, while Nightcrawler and his father Azathophel are descendants of Nelophel, demonic mutants.
What did you just say? Azathophel?
Azazel.
I don't know how to say any words.
It's okay.
In case you haven't figured that out yet.
I promise we will get into Azazel.
Yes.
We will. We'll get into Azazel. But yeah, so like Moira McTaggart is a CIA agent. She mostly helps out Charles. I think they sometimes have a romance thing, but sometimes don't. Anyways, there's no reason she fucking needed to be in this movie. It bloated an already way too bloated cast. And there were like, Olivia Munn played Psylocke, and she put so much work into like training and getting fit and like learning all this cool like kung fu ninja shit, and then she was barely in the movie, and it's just really terrible. So X-Men Apocalypse, unfortunately, it was not good enough to see Oscar Isaac on the screen big and blue. I do want to talk about that there is the astral plane.
Yeah.
During the battle in Cairo, Xavier fights Apocalypse telepathically in the astral plane. So that's like a thing that happens. Yeah, he like jacks into his brain and they go into the astral plane. It's not a good movie. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember it had too many characters. And then we come to one of the best movies in the series, Logan.
Logan is a very good movie.
This is Knife Dad and Knife Dad's gay daughter.
Yay.
So Logan is based off of the comic arc Old Man Logan. It's a pretty shitty future. Mutants are few and far between, and the ones that are, for whatever reason, aren't doing too good. So the year is 2029. Logan, who has aged greatly when his healing factor began to falter over the years, blah, blah, blah. Charles Xavier is very old and in a very bad place and sort of just has to be kept in this hell dome where his thoughts aren't too loud. And he's basically drugged into submission, so his thoughts aren't too loud. Because turns out when one of the most powerful telepaths in the entire world gets basically dementia, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Brooke, stop looking for the Beppis.
I can't find his fucking dick.
So, Logan eventually is approached by this nurse who has this 11-year-old girl named Laura, and they have to go to this place called Eden. It's sort of a fun.
I love The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's a little Last of Us.
Last of Us.
It's a little Last of Us, but that's okay because they're both very good. And eventually, so Knife Dad's gay daughter doesn't talk a whole lot.
That's valid of her.
She, I believe, also mostly speaks Spanish, but maybe speaks a little English.
Oh.
So what they learn eventually is that this company was breeding children with DNA samples from several mutants. But upon the completion of the X-24 project, the children were to be put to death.
Good.
So Laura is revealed to be Logan's quote-unquote daughter as she was bred with his DNA. So she has 2 claws.
Oh, okay.
And also like a healing factor. So she literally is Knife Dad's gay daughter.
I can't believe they keep fucking taking shavings off of Logan.
And I also want to talk about she is a...
Wait, does that mean that Deadpool is kind of related to Wolverine?
A little bit, potentially, just because they like, CRISPR'd him into having a healing factor.
His DNA.
Yeah, I would say...
Biohacked.
Yeah, biohacked more into being related into Wolverine. I also want to point out that Laura is a clone, more or less, of Logan, who is a girl.
Oh, yes, you mentioned this in my DMs.
So...
Trans rights, baby.
Trans
rights, baby.
And then basically at that point, it's just Knife Dad and Knife Dad's gay daughter go on a shitty road trip.
It's a bad road trip.
It's a real bad road trip. And then he dies.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
It's very sad. It's a very good movie.
Knife Dad, no.
And I enjoy it very much.
But he finally gets to die after living for like 200.5 years.
That's fair.
Yeah, so. He's an old man.
What finally killed him?
I think he just gets beat to shit in like the final battle helping Laura escape. Because obviously they want their shit back. So people are after him and they kill the shit out of him.
Okay.
So Deadpool 2, boy, a lot happens in this movie. Cable comes from the future. Domino's in it. There's a little bit of homoerotic tension, but not enough for me, personally. I believe in some of the comics, Cable is canonically Deadpool's boyfriend, so there just was not enough homoeroticism for me.
I could look it up.
You could look it up.
But it's fun. It's very similar in tone to the first Deadpool. It's wacky. It's meta. I think John Cena might be in it.
What? Why?
Let me look. The casts are all listed on the...
Oh, I could be wrong.
Terry Crews is.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Might be who you're thinking of.
There was somebody who was, like, invisible. And I want to say that it was maybe John Cena. Or at least it was supposed to be. The joke was that it was.
Please.
There's a lot of names in the credits here. And a lot of names that I recognize. But it's one of those types of movies. So...
Fucking stupid idiot searches. Nah, I don't want to learn about Spidey Pool. I want to learn about Cable. Stop it. Not the right one.
Maybe I'm actually thinking of the fact that Brad Pitt was a character called Vanisher who could turn himself invisible and so thus was invisible until he died. There's like a whole scene where Deadpool gets together this like mutant team and then as they're like dropping into the war zone, all of them die except for Domino because she has the power of luck. So it sure is a movie. And finally...
It's not a bad movie, but it's kind of a nothing movie in comparison to like stuff that happens. It's
kind of a nothing movie, but that's fine. And now I will finally finish my quote-unquote quick and dirty rundown of an hour with Dark Phoenix, the movie I have watched the least of. So they try to do the Dark Phoenix again, but they don't do it good. And also, Magneto may technically be living on what I can only call a reservation. So that happens. There's like a point where the government shows up and he's like, you gave us this land, get the fuck off of it, leave us alone. So that's not subtle.
No.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know that it was very poorly received and Jean is hit by a cosmic force that transforms her into one of the most powerful mutants at all. So she like goes into space and gets some space fumes and then she's fucked up and evil. And that's kind of all I remember.
Also, I can't find any information about Cable and Deadpool.
Unfortunately, I think the gays are more here for Spidey Pool. Obviously, the New Mutants is not out yet. I did look into it because I did not know anything about it, and it is a horror film, which means it will take me a long time to see it, but it is also gay. With a capital G.
Oh.
Apparently. Yes. I think, at least I fucking think so. Yeah, a couple of these girls are in lesbians.
Oh, shit.
Good
so
for
that's
them.
cool. Now we can talk about anything else that you guys want to talk about. I do have a handful.
I straight up, I don't know anything about X-Men. All I know is Wolverine is here. you always pull out X-Men when I need help with superhero stuff, and you like the Blue Man. The one that isn't Nightcrawler. Is he an X-Men, the one that you like, Aster?
Nightcrawler?
Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, Dr. Manhattan is not Marvel, I don't think.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan is something completely different.
Wait, what's he from? I always thought he was an X-Man.
He's in Watchmen.
What?
Is that a Dark Horse?
I think that's Dark Horse. Let me look it up.
I always thought he was an X-Men.
No.
Damn, alright, never mind then. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe
what is this page?
Oh, I don't want to know about the HBO. I want to know about the original comic. Fucking eat my ass.
Riptide is a mutant who is capable of producing tornadoes at will. He is gay and gives good hugs.
That is why I linked Riptide's page. Nothing else on here is important. I only wanted to talk about he is gay and gives good hugs.
I see the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yes, so he is part of... I can talk more about X-Men First Class. This is just sort of, unfortunately, me talking at you.
No, that's completely fine. Please go ahead.
So, there's a handful
Watchmen
of
was
mutants
DC.
that... Oh, was it really DC?
Yeah, it was DC. It was Alan Moore, Dave Gibbons from DC.
Wow, I really thought it was under Dark Horse. Okay.
Nope.
Guess I'm wrong. Okay. Was under... It's called a couple of things. Brotherhood of Mutants was something it was called for a hot minute. I think that's also what Magneto calls his gang.
Yeah, I see Brotherhood of Mutants under relationships.
He's also in the Hellfire Club, which is the coolest name ever.
Absolutely.
The Hellfire Club is run by Sebastian Shaw, who I think is an evil... Oh, cool, affiliation, the Nazi Party. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, wow,
What?
huh? Yeah, huh? Yeah.
This picture is also incredibly photoshopped, and I love it a lot. Whee! So, in order, it's Riptide, Emma Frost, Sebastian Shaw, Azazel, and the other Angel Salvadore, who is not in this picture, but we can talk about her as well. Wow, I super forgot he was a Nazi.
Wow.
Reading this again, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I was too dumb to realize that was also Kevin Bacon at the time. Because this came out at a point where I did not know what
Actors were. So, like, if they didn't explicitly call him, like, Sebastian Shaw, I probably did not realize it was Kevin Bacon. So it's just like, damn, that Nazi's fucked up. Which probably there are some scenes which were confusing to me at the time.
What is adulthood if not going back to movies that you watched in 2000, whatever?
And being like, oh, that's who that was.
Oh. Yeah.
That's an actor, huh?
Yeah. So Emma Frost is this woman here in this picture of the Hellfire Club that is just wearing a bra.
Yeah.
That's sort of her bag.
Telepath that can turn her skin to diamond? Why she got two?
I don't know!
Sometimes you get two.
Sometimes she gets two.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find her. She wears all manner of different outfits in her comic appearances, but they're always slutty. I love Emma Frost because I'm gay and I don't have brain cells, but I do recognize that she has been treated very badly. She is consistently a hooer.
What the? Oh, that effects look terrible.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just looking at pictures of Emma Frost to show you.
Yeah, I'm also looking at pictures of Emma Frost.
This one makes me very women.
Oh.
God,
like the single feathered sleeve.
The gay of it all. So yeah, sometimes she has like pants and it's okay. And sometimes she doesn't have pants and it's not okay. Like, here, I'm going to...
Yeah, there's a few of her here in just, like, wearing, like, underwear, basically.
There are some where she's literally wearing, like, a thong and a corset. But, like, sometimes she gets pants and, like, a little bustier with a cape. And I'm like, okay, this is passable.
Yeah.
She has jutes.
She very much... Okay, this is where I get to talk about the fact that I made an Emma Frost cosplay. In college, it was very hastily thrown together. Also, unsurprisingly, Emma Frost gets better outfits in media made for children when she can't look just like a stripper.
Yeah.
She looks great in whatever this is. Wolverine and the X-Men. Okay, so
Yes.
I based my outfit on a handful of different... I took a bunch of different elements, basically to be as covered as physically possible while cosplaying Emma Frost. So I was like, okay, I'll take the jutes, the poots, and I'll combine it with the corset. And so my idea to make the poots was I had a pair of white heels, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll just get a pair of opaque white tights, poke holes in the heel, and just do that. So I make my poots, and I put on the poots, and then it turns out that, for whatever reason, the opaque tights that I got are sheer at the crotch.
Oh, God.
The only point where I don't want them to be sheer.
Why?
Don't know.
What?
They just, like, got sheer at the crotch. I guess they figured nobody would be wearing them on the outside, which is usually a fair assumption.
That's
so
fair. Wait, are you talking about like yoga pants tights or pantyhose tights?
Like, they were like opaque pantyhose.
Okay, you fucking moron.
Okay, that's your own fault.
Of course.
Well, I don't know why they wouldn't just stay the same opacity all the way through.
Because that's what pantyhose look like. They always show the underwear. It's a nightmare.
Well, I must not have thought of that. Anyways, so I panic bought a pair of, like, I can't remember if they were white or nude bike shorts to wear underneath it. Oops, turns out I sent them to my house. I was at college at the time. Oops, it's 2 days to our Halloween party. Oops.
God.
So I'd bought in a huge piece of white fabric for the cape, and I'd folded over... It could not have been more than 5 inches of white fabric, because the full length of it, if we had sewn the fur to the top, it just would have been too long, so we just folded it over and sewed the fur to it. So I panic, cut off that 5-inch strip of fabric that was extra, and sewed it into the worst skirt I've ever made, so I wasn't a whore.
Do you have any photos of this?
I actually don't remember. I may be able to find some. I would have to look later, because I would have to dig real deep into my college email.
God.
But I may...
I wonder if any of your friends would have it.
And also I was like, oh, my brain's so fucking big, so she can turn into diamond, right? So I went and got a bunch of rhinestones and attached them to my face with eyelash glue.
No!
It looked kind of cool, because I didn't do the whole face. I did, like, a little bit of my forehead, to sort of suggest, like, oh, I'm turning into diamond. And I saw somebody else do it, and it looked good. But I was a college student with a shoestring budget, so I don't know if it looked as good. Probably didn't.
Not.
I also had a super ratty white Amazon, or like pale blonde Amazon wig. That was like fine for the night that I wore it, and then I took it off, and it was never untangled again. So, oh wait, sorry, I just found one where she's like, oh my god, her tits aren't like completely out. Wow, look at this. It's possible. It's possible, you guys. She can still be a little bit sexy, but her boobas don't have to be everywhere.
Yeah. That's a woman.
That sure is a woman. I'm just thinking about this one feathered sleeve. What is this from, and how can I absorb her into my life?
Yeah.
This is so... Oh, actually, here we go. So I think this image that I'm linking...
For the benefit of everybody else, she wears all white.
Yeah, she wears all white. I think this image was the one I most strongly based my costume off of.
Oh, the all white clothes with the black lipstick. Yes.
It's
excellent.
really spectacular.
Very effervescent.
So let's now that I've stopped telling a personal anecdote about my crotch almost showing in my Emma Frost costume, Azazel, who is this ugly looking red dude, and I'm so sorry they did him so wrong.
He looks really
They did
bad.
him so bad.
He looks so bad.
Did they like CG his makeup, because it looks really bad?
I have no idea.
Why is his hair so blurry?
I don't know. I think this picture is like heavily CG.
This picture looks really fucked up, yeah. But also he looks bad.
He doesn't look great in the movie,
It
but
looks like he's due for a makeup touch-up, is how bad he looks.
Yeah, if you look at his image gallery, he doesn't look, I mean, like, great, just because he looks...
I actually legitimately can't find the galleries on this wiki.
Okay, so it's actually right above his, like, little portrait. This is, like, there's an image gallery for Azazel.
Oh, that's dumb.
I see. Okay.
It's very bad.
This is going in my list of do nots.
He looks terrible!
Oh my god, he looks so bad.
Oh no.
So the thing I really wanted to talk about was that in the comics, he's Nightcrawler's dad.
Yeah, he is.
In the movies, he's not?
Nope.
It was never established in the movies.
Oh,
because he's sort of... So he's Nightcrawler's dad, and Nightcrawler's mom is Mystique. They were not friends, and he dies in this movie.
Okay.
So, that's sort of problematic. But in the comics, that is why he is blue, like Mystique, and looks like a devil, and can teleport, like his dad.
Teleport?
Yeah, that's what his power is.
P-head, he teleport?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nightcrawler teleport.
His power is that he's blue and fuzzy and teleports.
Oh.
He also has a cool tail.
He also has a cool tail.
Yeah.
Prehensile tail. Invisibility? I sort of don't remember that, but okay. Superhuman ability, superhuman reflexes.
He has a lot of powers, wow.
Surface adhesion, gecko hands.
Gecko hands.
I do like that also him being bilingual is an ability. He's German.
His name is Kurt Wagner. He is very German.
Yeah, and I love him very much. I think about him. Hey, is it time to talk about his fuzzy blue butt?
I think it's time to talk about his fuzzy blue butt and how non-present that is in the movie.
Right, so we've griefed about how he's not fuzzy, but in the comics, he's very fuzzy. And a couple artists like to draw his ass cheeks. He's a little bit of a whore in the comics.
Superhero artists love to draw ass, and they try to draw dick and balls so much. I'm always thinking about that tweet of the Venom artist who was like, I always draw the dick and balls and they take it out.
Oh, truly fantastic.
God, I don't know what cover it is, but I know there is a Wolverine cover.
Yes, the one with the boner, the one with the boner!
The one with the beer bottle, yeah.
What?
Oh my god, okay, is it a Nick Robles one?
It might be.
Nick Robles consistently draws Nightcrawler like a whore.
God. I know that you guys have talked about Nightcrawler before, like way early in our friendship.
Yeah.
I love him so much. Okay, actually, I think I may rescind my statement about him drawing Nightcrawler as a whore. I think he draws everybody as a whore.
Superhero comic artists are like that.
Look at this
either
super horny Nightwing. This dude is naked.
He's fully naked.
No, he's got a mask on his cheeks. He's technically
face
clothed.
ones.
No, you have to specify it's his face, not his cheeks. His ass is out. It's this drawing of wait, what the fuck was his name again? Nightwing?
Well, okay, so the dude with just the mask on is Nightwing, yes.
Yeah, Nightwing's like hanging from a little string.
Mm-hmm. Here we go! Yes, okay. I found it.
Yes. My favorite X-Men cover ever.
Why does Nightcrawler have so much ass?
He's caked up, nowhere to go.
I've seen this cover before.
Mm-hmm. Nightcrawler is naked. Wolverine is staring at his dick. There is a phallic beer bottle on the table.
He looks so tired. God, his face is miserable. He looks terrible.
Yeah, Wolverine's kind of just miserable all the time.
Yeah.
I love that cover so much.
Do you guys have any others? Oh, good. I immediately found the post that I wanted to send. Please open this. We're being bad podcasters again.
No, it's okay.
It's this post of I think it's Wolverine, right?
I think it's meant to be.
This really bad looking Wolverine from one of the comics. Oh, from Cable 75 by Rob Liefeld. That makes sense.
Oh, of course it's Rob Liefeld.
And someone erased a bunch of his line eyes to see how tiny his eyes are under all of it, and they're minuscule. They're the size of peanuts on his face.
He looks like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Stop.
God, we could do an entire podcast just trying to describe Rob Liefeld art and how bad it is.
I can't get over this naked drawing of Nightwing. It's so rendered. It's so lovingly rendered. Was this a cover? What is this for? Did he just do this for fun?
I think he just did this. Anyways, I'm gonna keep posting Nightcrawler hornies because...
Go ahead. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, he has weird feet.
Yeah.
So he's got weird feet and weird hands.
Oh, he does have weird hands.
He's really...
coming out of a pool and showing his ass to the camera.
He is fucking cheeked up on a Sunday night.
Shut up.
He is. Okay. I don't mean to be... Is Nick Robles gay? I just want to know. Because this art seems like art that gay dudes like and make. If he's not, he's given them a gift. Look at this. Look. Also, here's him playing volleyball and being fuzzy.
Oh God, yeah. He's so delightfully fuzzy. I love it.
I love it.
And in the movies, he's not.
Robles is really good at drawing fuzzy.
Please.
Like this looks like a fuzzy guy instead of like a hairy nightmare.
Yeah, he looks incredibly fuzzy and soft to touch.
Yeah.
He looks pleasant, which is very impressive.
Is he,
Aster.
I just feel like this is art that gay men make.
Yeah, we know.
I know.
What was that one illustrator? That fucking excellent fucking job work.
Are you potentially thinking of Kevin Wada?
No, I'm thinking of older paint. Like, it's the one that people always redraw like gay ships as.
Oh, gosh, yeah, no, I know exactly the art you're talking about.
Glimpse of the Kiss?
No, it's
what the hell?
Newer than that. It's still like that kind of Art Nouveau era.
I might be thinking of Klimt, actually.
You could be thinking of Klimt.
But
But it's really just the
no,
one.
I'm not. Shit.
We'll figure it out eventually. We can come back to it.
Give me a bit.
I'm dragging us back onto the wiki.
Yeah, let me go to fucking Ace Attorney Twitter. Give me a minute.
Those gays will have that shit on lock.
Yeah.
I know exactly what piece you're talking about because I have a...
no, I'm thinking of specifically an artist.
Yeah, I have one of their pieces redrawn in my Metal Gear Solid zine.
That's really excellent.
Really good.
Anyway, continue. I'll keep smacking my hands against the internet.
Yeah, this was kind of nothing.
Yeah, sorry.
I think we can finally go back to the timeline, which is really what I wanted to talk about in the first place.
That's valid.
It's very a lot to handle, but it's mostly like, I just really wanted to impress upon you guys that, yeah, it fully does like a Stone Ocean reset. And it's different now. So all of the movies that came out after Days of Future Past, regardless of when they take place chronologically, are now the new canon. X-Men Origins, X-Men, X2, X-Men Last Stand, Wolverine becomes a weeb, and the future parts, like the shitty future we see in X-Men Days of Future Past, are no longer canon. So, yeah, that's the shit. But also, I love that this timeline starts like 8,000 BC. Apocalypse is born as the world's first mutant.
God.
And then it goes from 1000 BC, Phoenix Force, blah, 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 whatever. 1832, James Howlett is born. Hey, also, 1859, Charles Darwin publishes On the Origin of Species, introducing that genetic evolution allows adaptation over time to produce organisms best suited to the environment.
Thanks.
Oh my god. Hey, everybody. 1866, Gregor Johann Mendel establishes the theory of hereditary traits. There's like DNA lore!
There's a lot of DNA lore on this wiki for literally...
no good reason.
Good reason.
I think...
1915, the basic principle of Mendelian genetics is applied to a fruit fly. Thanks! What does it have to do with X-Men?
1941, the term genetic engineering is first used by Danish microbiologist Alfred Jost, probably. Charles Xavier's mutant abilities start to manifest. I don't know what to do about this.
Yeah, God, I love timelines. It's always the worst.
Oh, here we go. I also forgot Wolverine was at D-Day.
Yeah, Wolverine was at D-Day and was also at Nagasaki.
Mm-hmm. That's like why he goes to Japan, is he saved someone's life during the Nagasaki bombing, and I don't know.
It's
Eric Ledger visits America for the first time and sees the Statue of Liberty. Sometime between 1949 and 1962. He returns to Europe, disillusioned with America's image as the land of tolerance and peace. Yeah, go off, King.
Yeah, fuck buddy, me too.
If you ever impress anything upon, like, here's my hot take, which is that Magneto was right and Charles Xavier is a bitch. And that's just...
Is that a hot take?
I think for some people who don't know anything, it's a hot take, but if you're not stupid and you're gay, you know that Magneto was right and Charles Xavier is a bitch. If you read the comics, apparently he's even worse. He's very manipulative.
Oh.
Hey, sorry, I just saw 1953, March, James D. Watson and Francis Crick discovered the double helix structure of DNA. I'd like to make an edit to that.
That is functionally incorrect.
That is incorrect. They stole it. They stole it.
They are a little thief.
You're stealing my DNA. Also, my favorite piece of...
Rosalind Franklin was robbed.
Yes, Rosalind Franklin was robbed. She deserves better. The thing that I love that's like comics lore that's also not talked about, there's a lot of like weird parentage stuff that's not touched on at all.
For the best, honestly.
For the best. Magneto is technically the father of Peter and Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah, it's not good. Who are...
Who?
So Peter and Wanda Maximoff, they actually appear... I don't want to talk about them in the MCU, so I'm going to talk about them... Let me see. No, I don't
they
want
appear
Peter,
in the MCU.
I don't want Peter Dinklage. Let's talk about Quicksilver. So Quicksilver, born Peter Maximoff, is a mutant who has the ability of super speed. He's a fast boy, and that's it. I believe his sister is technically Scarlet Witch, but I don't think her powers ever really manifest in the X-Men movies, which is probably also for the best. Basically, he does a run real good. But also, I believe Eric also has a third child in the comics named Polaris. She's him, but she has green hair.
Her semblance is polarity.
Shut up!
Shut up! Shut up, shut up, shut up! I'm gonna beat your fucking ass! But no, like, she literally... I'm also gonna post a picture of comic Scarlet Witch. This is Polaris.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this is... Oh, God. Can I get it? I don't want to look at Elizabeth Olsen. I don't want to look at her. Stop showing me her. Okay, this works. Here we go. And this is her sister, Scarlet Witch, who is just the... They make Christmas sisters. They wear, like, the same shit. It's very weird. Scarlet Witch's powers are... luck, I think? I genuinely don't know.
Oh, God.
Let's look at this wiki and see if it's here.
I swear you talked about the Scarlet Witch before. Hey, Aster, is that person with fireworks powers in X-Men?
Jubilee? Yes.
Yeah. I don't have anything more to that. It's just entered my brain.
That's okay. She's very cute in the new timeline. Come and look at her. She's my sweet girl.
Oh, yeah, it's because you love her. Oh, she's cute.
She's adorable. I do love Jubilee.
Jubilee is a good character, but I think her power is incredibly lame and I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Like, she's cute. She's fun.
Isn't it literally just like fireworks generation?
She basically just makes fireworks with her hands and it's dumb as hell.
It's a gay power, I guess.
It's a little, you know, but also, like, look at how cute she looks in this movie. Oh, yeah. She's cute. She has this cool yellow jacket and cool boots, and I love her.
Cooler boots.
I care about her very much. Yeah, hey, also, Alex, I do want to talk about the two daughters thing. Just one.
Yeah, so I am on Miss Maximoff's page because I wanted to see if there was any reference to the Maximov twins and then other sibling on the movie wiki, and the answer is no, there is not. So Miss Maximoff is, quote, the former lover of Magneto and the mother to Peter Maximoff / Quicksilver and 2 daughters. We scroll down to the relationships tab. Relationships, Magneto, former lover. Peter Maximoff / Quicksilver, son, unnamed daughter.
Just one.
Just one. It has been less than 2 paragraphs, and we have lost a daughter.
I think also in the comics, Maximoff is actually Eric's name. Eric Lensher is like not his name in the comics. It's I can't remember what it actually is.
It's probably Maximoff.
Well, it's something. It's not like Eric Maximoff. It's like a whole fucking different name. Let me see here for a second. I think he actually goes by it in X-Men Apocalypse. Oh, that's right, because he has his whole Sadman family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that, and I did cringe. They're technically supposed to be Romani, but they're not ever.
It's poorly handled at best.
It's poorly handled at best. I think in X-Men they do it slightly better insofar as they're not blatantly offensive. Whereas, like, they're just Americans and, you know, whatever. The Marvel Universe, this is the most I'll talk about it, did decide to have these children, who technically should have been Romani, but were played by non-Romani actors, be the result of experiments by Hydra, the Nazis.
The Nazis. Which is bad. It's all bad.
Hey, these categories are really good, Alex.
Yeah, okay, so the categories on this wiki, because we haven't actually talked a lot about the actual wiki mechanics itself, which is my favorite part of all of this sometimes, is the categories for all of the characters go under X-Men, Days of Future Past characters, humans, female, Caucasian, unknown status, original timeline, alive, revised timeline, red hair, brown eyes, Americans, mothers, Maximoff's family, cameo. So these are just categories that are on this wiki. They categorize by hair color and eye color. Oh, there's so many, and they all make no sense.
So I'm trying to find out what the fuck his name was.
Still desperately trying to find this artist. I fucking despise not having a brain.
Henrik Gursky was apparently his name in the movie, which is not what it was in the comics.
Oh, the categories are real good, guys. Oh, the categories are so good.
This sucks.
Asia, Asians.
All with a different number of people in the category. I am also absolutely entranced by there being a category blue hair and a category blue skin, which have different membership entirely.
Okay.
They sure fucking do. I love
that we have a category for blue skin characters.
You gotta, it's X-Men. I believe his canon comics name is Max Eisenhart. Also sometimes Magnus Eisenhart. It sort of waffles back and forth. But Eric Lensher is explicitly like a fucking alias. It's not his real name. And then the movies were like, but it is.
But it is, though. What if it was?
It is, though. Oh no. Let me in. Tell me more about why he goes by Xavier in the New Mutants. Tell me why he goes by Michael Xavier in the New Mutants, please. That sounds kind of gay. I'm in. But yeah, it's. I feel like I really could talk about the X-Men movies for a long time, and just not even like on the wiki. I could just talk about them, which is also why this wiki is also very poorly set up, and there's not a whole lot of.
It's a bad wiki.
It's not.
I'm making the statement right now. It is a bad wiki.
Yeah, and so, like, I've barely talked about characters. I feel like I could keep talking for 7 more hours about the X-Men. I'm genuinely trying to think about if there's anything else that I would want to bring up. Because, I mean, hell, we talked about Nightcrawler's fuzzy blue ass, so, like, where do we go from here?
That's all you wanted to talk about.
Genuinely,
that's all I needed.
So, I believe these are the comics that were explicitly based off of the movies. I was very confused when the comics tab was tiny. Yeah. I think it's comics that were explicitly about the movie.
Which is still so...
which is why... Don't know why you did that.
There are already comics. Just go read those. They're not better, but...
Are the comics bad? Well, I don't know why I have to say, are the comics bad? It's fucking superheroes.
So, there
are some that are good.
You know how complicated Marvel is?
Mm-hmm.
All these universes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the X-Men is the worst of that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
There was literally...
Yeah, do you want to air your grievances more, Aster?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to talk about the X-Men more.
Go ahead.
Go.
So there's a podcast that I listened to briefly called Jay and Miles Explain the X-Men. X-Men is fairly straightforward through the Silver Age and when they were first started. It's just like, here's our team, it's people, and, it's Beast, it's Iceman, it's Cyclops, it's... I can't remember what the complete original is. And also Girl, Jean Grey. Which is why her character is bad. It was conceived as Girl. And she never really got any better.
It's very unfortunate.
So, in J. Miles Explain the X-Men, they get probably through to the 70s, 80s, in like the first 10 episodes. It then gets so complicated from there. It has encapsulated the rest of it, and this podcast is years long.
Oh.
Sometimes Cyclops is in space, and his dad is a space pirate.
Sometimes.
That's happening, I think, currently, or at least last I heard.
I don't.
There are so many different versions of every character. There are several reboots that just say, okay, fuck it, we're doing the original again. There's like 4 of those.
Oh, definitely.
And like, only one is good, I think.
This is something I learned when I was reorganizing all of my dad's X-Men collection, because he has comics going back, like, to when he was a kid.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool collection. But for Father's Day one year, basically what I did is I sat down with roughly 4 decades of comics and just tried to organize them in any way that made sense. And I couldn't do it. It is... I ended up going by year because there's no other way.
Sorry. I literally don't remember why I wanted to find this, but I found it. It was fucking J.C. Linedecker.
Oh!
Yes, it was J.C. Linedecker.
I don't remember why I needed that. Okay, continue. I'm so sorry.
No.
Oh, my brain is free.
No,
your brain is free. Anyway.
It's so fine. I think it actually also, I was like, oh, maybe it's Leyendecker, and I'm like, no.
It's Linedecker.
It is Linedecker.
So, the X-Men comics are bad. Genuinely what you need to do is, if you ever want to read them, first of all, don't.
Reevaluate.
Go for a walk, have a lovely glass of water, and then don't. But if you are actually interested in ever reading them, I believe Jay and Miles have, like, here are the specific, like, arcs. These ones are good. Read these.
Tackling superhero comics is so hard. I feel like superhero comics are in the same realm as, like, Naruto and Bleach.
But it's worse. It's worse. Because you can just start at 1 and read Naruto.
You can just do that. There's Naruto, there's the original, and there's Shippuden, and then there's Boruto, and that's all you need to know. You just go through them chronologically.
Boruto's dad and his enemies.
It's frenemies.
You can't fucking do that with American comics.
Right. Yeah.
So, back when the Venom movie came out, I was, like, really into Venom comics. Trying to fucking parse out what's happening with that whole scene
didn't you
was
really
impossible.
Figure out that 2018 was the best place to start or something?
I
know you gave me Rex, and then I, like, fell off because I can't read.
You're so valid, and I love you so much, Rook. Yes, I believe there was a recent 2018 run of Venom that was decent. It was about Eddie Brock. Because for a while there, it fucking wasn't about him. And so... any superhero, you're like, oh, I'm interested in this superhero. You're like, I like Venom. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You like Eddie Brock because there's also Flash Gordon, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's, Captain Venom or some shit. Peter Parker's the original fucking
Peter
vessel.
Parker's the original Venom.
There's just so much fucking shit happening. And then, not to mention, there's all the other fucking symbiotes that are probably clones or some shit. It's so complicated. And that's for one character. And he's not even that prominent. Imagine if you want to go read about Captain America. Fuck you! Fuck you!
You don't!
Bother.
You just don't!
Because which one do you like? Do you like Steve Rogers? Do you like Bucky Barnes? Do you like Sam Wilson? There might be more. I don't even know.
There's definitely more.
Wait. I always thought Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes were two characters that existed at the same time.
They sure do.
There are some continuities where Bucky takes up the mantle of Captain America.
Yeah. But, no, I think I thought Bucky Barnes was the Winter Soldier.
He is.
Wait, what?
Are you confused yet? Yeah, you should be.
You should be, because there are some
timelines there are some timelines where he is the Winter Soldier and he fights Captain America and he's
I see. You're talking about timelines. Okay.
And there are some timelines where Steve either dies or retires or whatever, and Bucky Barnes takes up the mantle of Captain America.
Okay.
Anybody that complains that the MCU is not comics compliant can come deliver their nuts directly into my hands so I can rip them off, because how do you even comply?
The answer is you don't.
I can talk about this a little bit more. It's technically relevant to X-Men because it involves Deadpool.
Dude, go little ahead.
Bit. Go.
It's your time.
So.
This is a safe space.
In Infinity War and Endgame and whatever, they turned Thanos into like a weird philosophy major.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's all just like, if we kill half of everything, nothing will be different. I could talk about his flaws for days. I won't. I'll save it for the Marvel MCU
Maybe we could
episode.
do a discuss Thanos.
It's probably unfortunately not that long. It would just be like a 20-minute rant in the MCU episode.
That's the length that discusses are supposed to be.
That's true. In the comics, his reason for killing a bunch of people is because he wants to impress Lady Death.
Right. Yeah.
Who is all shacked up with Deadpool. But unfortunately, they don't have the rights to talk about Deadpool, and like that's the reason Lady Death is not interested, because she's like, I am getting this crusty peen from Deadpool. And so she's not interested in this big-chinned motherfucker. So he goes on like an incel rage rampage, collects the Infinity Stones, and snaps half the universe. And it makes more sense, because he's just an angry incel. But when you don't have all that context, you have to come up with bullshit like he's a fucking philosophy major who has never taken an econ class in his goddamn life. And so that's when people are like, okay. I mean, I'm also part of the group of people that's like, we haven't had a Marvel movie in almost a year. The world is healing. But also, they're dumb because it is so hard to adapt Marvel comics. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have managed to build anything of a coherent narrative over 20-something movies is frankly fucking impressive.
Like, we give no credit to Disney in this house. Fuck Disney. All my homies hate Disney. It's really impressive.
The amount of like fact checking, and I'm sure there are things that contradict them, and that's okay. Guess what? It's a comic book movie. Now you understand the experience of reading comics. Because you'll fucking pick some shit up and it'll be like, huh? Who is this? So many characters have multiple incarnations. The worst part is sometimes you can track a human person through several different titles, and then subsequently you can track a superhero title through multiple different people.
Yep.
Carol Danvers has been Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. Miss Marvel is now Kamala Khan. That's a simple example with only 2 variations.
Oh, God.
You want to know something fun about the X-Men? In the X-Men cartoon from the 80s, Rogue can fly and, like, do shit that she doesn't do in any of the X-Men movies. You want to know why? Oh, I know why. In the comics, she used her fucking energy-sucking powers and put Miss Marvel into a coma.
What?
Yeah.
So that's a thing that happens and is never addressed in the cartoon. Now, I assume what was happening at the time in the main run of X-Men was like that. So any kid who was reading that was like, yeah, Rogue can fly. Duh.
Damn.
But it's so, I mean, I can't begin to describe to you the confusion I felt having seen the original X-Men movies and going and watching this 80s cartoon, and Rogue is in an ugly green suit with a southern accent and a perm, and she flies now. I don't know how kids read this shit.
Yeah.
Because you can literally read, like, I think there is still, like, the main X-Men continuity that's, I think, still going, and it's on, like, issue 700 or what the fuck ever. And you could read that from 1 to 700 whatever, and you would still not fucking understand it, because there's spin-offs. There are events that happen that you have to go read. I distinctly fucking remember when I was reading through the Venom comics, there was one where I had to go hunt down Spider-Man comics, then go hunt down, like, Avengers comics.
I had to do that too.
It was so dumb. Because it went like, this one's in Venom, this one's in Spider-Man, this one's in some other fucking thing. This one's in Venom, this one's in Spider-Man, this one's in some other fucking thing. It was the least efficient way to do a fucking crossover, and I hated it.
Crossovers are a fucking bane on comics. I'm only speaking as someone who was reading, like, a little bit of Archie Sonic. Like, when the fucking worlds collide shit happened. Ugh.
It's
not fun. No one likes it.
And I don't know a whole lot about DC, but I do know they have reset their universe, like, in recent memory, twice. They did the New 52, and then they were like, oh shit, it got too complicated again. And then I think they nuked it again.
That's what Archie Sonic did.
Yeah, it just keeps fucking happening. They go,
well, actually, part of
no.
Archie Sonic,
Oh no, we made it too fucking big and confusing. We just have to nuke it. The New 52 in DC was literally supposed to be like, it's these 52 heroes who are pretty much the same as, you know, the ones you know. Yeah, Batman's still Batman, and he still does all his Batman things. But I guess he no longer has, like, 17 Robins that he's legally adopted. And all this shit.
Oh, but I love all his stupid Robins.
I
do love the Bat Family. It's fun to think about.
Bat Family is fun to think about. I don't care about Batman, but I care about all of his children a lot.
I only care about his sidekicks. I don't give a shit about Batman.
It's because all of his sidekicks are way more interesting.
Oh, far and away.
Robin is also one of the superheroes that I enjoyed quite a lot, like, from social osmosis as a kid. It was like Robin and Spider-Man, which I guess I'm gay?
Yeah. You're gay, and
that's what gay people say.
Yeah.
Liking Robin is a pretty gay move, and also depending on the Robin, I know, is also a little bit of a trans move. I don't know which ones, but some of them just feel...
I'm pretty sure, because I think most of my osmosis was through the cartoons, so I'm pretty sure it was the Robin who was running around in, like, little spandex shorts with boots.
Oh, see, unfortunately that doesn't narrow it down.
That doesn't narrow it down at all.
Let me just Google Robin. Wait, no, I'm stupid.
That's gonna give you a bird.
Yeah, I got
possible birds. It's Dick Grayson.
Probably
it's
Dick
probably
Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
Which, by the way, do you know that Nightwing? Yeah, that's who that is.
That's who that was.
Oh, okay.
Nightwing canonically has a tight as hell ass. Nightwing's butt, a thick history of Dick Grayson's butt.
What?
Thank you, Sci-Fi Wire. He is fucking cheeked up as hell. Look at this. Look at this.
Holy shit. Oh wait, I remember now. Yeah, I was specifically very into Teen Titans, so that's where I got Robin from. So no, he's wearing pants. But I swear I remember a Robin running around in little shorts. On my TV.
There's a lot of old Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, was he in the very good, well animated, like mid-90s Batman?
Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah. I don't know if he was in that one.
I don't know which Robin he is, also, by the way. In Teen Titans. I have no fucking clue. I don't know which
I think he's just Robin.
It looks like he was in Batman the Animated Series, and he's good. Hey, maybe I'm, like, misremembering. Maybe Robin never had naked legs on TV. Maybe that wasn't allowed.
Oh, no, okay. Teen Titans is Dick Grayson.
Oh, okay. So I like Dick Grayson, I guess.
Yeah.
He's a pretty classic one. But no, American comics are a nightmare, and it's why I can only recommend things like The Runaways, which, other than one weird fucking spin-off during the, I think, Secret Wars, but I could be wrong, is fairly linear. You can just read them in order, and they're good. Hilariously dated, because I think the first Runaways came out in 2003, which is always a joy to read comics that came out in 2003. But Runaways is so much its own thing, and even still, it has a bullshit crossover thing that doesn't make any fucking sense. It's pretty easy to avoid, but it's still... I hate comics. I hate comics, and I hate being in this zone.
So this is veered far, far away from X-Men, because we fucking talked about DC for, like, 10 minutes.
What were we even wanting to talk about? I can't remember at this point.
I think I was just mad about the comics.
That's fine.
And how every American comics is, like, bad and confusing, but X-Men is, like, explicitly one of the worst. Because they just keep fucking resetting it, and they just keep being like, let's just do the beginning again. Let's just do the beginning again. And nobody...
And this is what happens.
I hate the addiction to fucking... Damn it, I forgot the word.
Reboots?
Reboot.
No.
Reset?
Multiverses?
Backstories?
Backstory.
Origin stories.
There you go.
I hate the addiction to origin stories. Shut up. I know what Batman is. You can stop.
The fact
I know
that
he's not
every...
Please stop
Spider-Man,
killing Uncle Ben.
I know... Thank you! Oh my god. We know who
killing Uncle
Spider-Man
Ben.
is. Culturally, we know. We've seen all the movies.
I don't need to see Uncle Ben die anymore.
It's
so
fine.
tired.
It's fine. We know. We just have the same fucking story over and over and over again.
Just make Spider-Man... Just make him be Spider-Man already. Just make him be Spider-Man already.
Just make him be Spider-Man already. We already know.
It's okay.
And this is why Spider-Verse is good.
Yeah. I still need to see it.
We might be able to do that because I have it on my Netflix.
Woo! I do too. Alright.
I want it on DVD really bad. Anyway.
But, yeah, comics are bad and I hate them.
Comics are bad and you should not read them.
And one last thing, the worst part about the X-Men is they are also entangled in the greater Marvel continuities bullshit.
Yep.
And have their own horseshit going on. Like, Cyclops' dad being a space pirate, completely irrelevant. But sometimes they do this whole thing where it's like, they do these big events, and it's like, everybody gets together, and it's like, oh, it's the Secret Wars or whatever. And so all of a sudden, everybody is pulled out of whatever fucking story they're in. They're thrown into Secret Wars for a year, or what the hell ever, and then they just go back, and it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Comics are a nightmare. Everybody read manga. It's fucking easy to understand. No fucking manga has ever done this.
There might be one or two out there. I am absolutely positive. Well, I guess it's JoJo.
JoJo could be a little bit like that, but even still, it's not like there isn't an order that's easy to understand and follow.
Yeah, I can't
You
think of
started
anything
volume
I've read.
1 and you ended the last volume.
Yeah, I can't think of anything I've read or am aware of that's non-linear hell.
Even if the narrative is non-linear, you still would read it from chapter 1 onwards.
Yeah.
That's the beef with comics, is you have to jump around so much to all these different runs. Your best bet with comics is to find one character that you enjoy and find good solo runs. For example, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye. It's very good, it's very self-contained, and he's an epic depression man with a dog, and it's spectacular. And you know what? You don't ever have to think about anybody else who interacts with Hawkeye except for Hawkeye 2, Kate Bishop. I respect that she just takes up the mantle of Hawkeye, but it is a little bit confusing when I'm like, Hawkeye 2.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. And
Kate
he also
Bishop
has
edition.
a dog named Lucky.
Oh.
And it's good. And you know
Good
what?
dog
You don't
name.
have to know anything else about the Avengers. That's the best way to read American comics, and I stand by it. That's my final statement.
Yeah.
So it's been a good statement. All right, do we want to wrap up?
Yes.
Do you have anything else, Aster? Are you done?
I'm good. My voice
I'm
is
not
hoarse.
letting Aster talk about anything else.
No, my voice is hoarse now.
Okay.
Wait,
What?
Change to comics. My final message. Goodbye. That was the meme I was trying to think of.
Yeah, okay. You can
Thread
find us on
closed.
Twitter at WikiBoysPod, and you can find me on Twitter at Twibboing.
You can find me on Twitter at AlexTheMostlyOK.
And you can find me on Twitter at Nerd of Goodness.
This has been Wikiboys. We'll fix it in post.
The music used in this episode is Quirky Dog by Kevin MacLeod, found at Incomptech.com and used under the